Today, I'm going to record about Gmail uses as a part of this session on effective email writing. And most of you will be using Gmail to communicate or to write kind of email for communication and networking purposes. And while I kind of my experience comes from when I started using Gmail, and it took me many years to understand what are the different functions and how should you use Gmail effectively to communicate and in more smarter way. So Gmail has a lot of features, and I thought I should give you an overview before we start with the second session. That's the first session of effective email writing. So let's go and see what is there in Gmail. There's gonna be multiple videos and short clips like on different points. So let's walk through it. So introduction to Gmail, there are like first I will be talking about um, what is the history of Gmail, how it came into being. Then second I will be discussing about how do you create account. Third about email organization, sublabeling, folders, and segregation. The fourth about adding signatures in your auto signatures in your while you draft an email. How do you set auto replies when you are away from your office or uh, sixth about long-term management. How do you manage your Gmail so that the long term you don't get confused and things doesn't like slip away. Seventh about Google Drive usage. The eighth about I'll be talking about hyperlinking certain things with the URLs, the web links, right? The ninth about searching emails. It's very important. Many time we struggle to find an email which we have received earlier. So there are some ways you can really select and filter things. And then 10th about auto correction and grammatical corrections while you write your email. There are a lot of external plugins uses there. And then there are options to schedule your email, and I'll be talking about that. And then in the Google Calendar, you can schedule events. Um, and then there are behavioral tips on move timings and when and how to manage these things. And then 16th is about do's and don'ts in general in Gmail. So let's get started. So if we talk about history of the email uh, and its uses, so as the first ever email was sent by Ray Tomlinson in 1971, and then we got mail AOL email launch in 1993, and then we had another maybe 7 years, 11 years, I would say. So you have 13 years after this, you had 2004 launch of Gmail. So around 16 years ago, the Gmail was launched. And in these 16 years, now it became around 200 billion email messages sent per day. You can see the power of the Gmail communication, the email communication. And if you look at most popular email clients, the iPhone is one of the topmost one, having 28% market share. But the Gmail is equally comparable, 26%. And most of, if you see, relatively equal percentage of the emails are sent via mobile and desktop, or the web emails, right? Um, so, so this talks about how the Gmail has a wider presence in the community, and that's how you should know about it, how to use it effectively, right? So, so first I will be showing you how do you create an account in the Gmail. So let's go to the uh, email. So when you search, you can search in the Google that create Gmail account. You click on this link, it will take you to this section, right? So now comes most important thing. When you want to create an account, many people create with funny names, right? But your email is gonna be your identity. So you should never do that. You should always use your, if it is a official Gmail account, always use proper name. So like, for example, Sachin Sethi, right? So, and then comes how do you give the name to this? So many times we struggle that mm, giving the, not finding the proper usernames. But I would say you should potentially you should always try to use your name as a username rather than using some kind of biotech Sachin, biochem Sachin. All this is not it's not professional. Basically, doesn't it confuses people, right? So here, when I write this whole name, it says that it's already taken. So how do you manage this? So you have to use different ways, right? Again, checks. Sorry, you cannot take, only letters or numbers are allowed, right? So you can use dots. Let's see if it works. It's already taken, right? So I'll say use SETI, Sachin, right? And then use dot, right? Let's see, it's already taken. So then you can use your year, date of birth, or you can use whatever your month and year, right? So now see, I've used my like name, some random name, and then year and date, month and year, right? So it works, right? Mm, and then you should set up your password. That's your choice, um, whatever you want to do. So most important thing which I wanted to talk about, the setting the names, and then you go next, uh, and then it will ask for the phone number. Um, you should you should add your phone number because it will help you to recovery. Yeah, if you don't have recovery email address, that's not a big deal. Uh, you should not. That's your choice. How do you want to give your actual date of birth? Or sometimes there is a privacy thing, so that's your choice. Or I'll say not to say, right, and go ahead with my verification, right? So I'm gonna. So in my phone, I'll get the code, and that should allow me to verify this account. So says 977 299. So once you verify it, so then it's asking you to do, you should do it because many times you have to make calls, you know everything, and I'm not gonna spend time and directly move on to. So here you are, right? So you reached into the world of Gmail. So the moment you create an account in Gmail, you get access to all these different services like Maps, YouTube, News, Meet. All these are additional services inbuilt in Gmail. So podcast, ads, Google Arts, classrooms. There are so many things. So what we're gonna talk about today on a couple of things: the Gmail, calendar, Drive, and all these I will be talking, which is related to your Gmail uses. Other things I'm not gonna talk about. So this was about how do you create an account, and then now let's go to your Gmail, right? Mm, all right. So it says to you that this is how it's gonna look like when you first time create your Gmail account, and uh, here there are a couple of things to do, and that I'm gonna talk about in next video. So thank you so much for watching, and next video I'll be talking about email organization.